Imagine this. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, you're sound asleep, and suddenly a powerful leg cramp jolts you awake. You try to move your leg. It won't respond. You try to sit up, but you're afraid that if you force it, you might fall. So you grab the nightstand, take a deep breath, and wait for the pain to slowly pass. Now, imagine the opposite. You wake up, put your feet on the floor, stand up calmly. Your legs feel steady. No cramps, no shaking, no fear of falling. Being able to walk safely around your home, step outside for a short walk, play with your grandchildren, get out of bed without depending on anyone. For many people over 60, that feels like a distant dream. But something important is happening right now. Doctors around the world are stunned by the effects of a forgotten vitamin and a specific group of nutrients that can help change this picture, especially after age 60. If you're over 60, tell me if any of this sounds familiar. That tight pull in your calf when you climb stairs. Tingling in your feet like they've gone slightly numb. That wobbly feeling in your legs, the fear of getting up from a chair on your own. And those cramps that come out of nowhere, often in the middle of the night, stealing your sleep. A lot of people hear this from doctors, family, even friends. Well, that's just aging. After 60, leg pain is normal. Muddiant. But the truth is, in thousands of cases, it's not just age. It's your body trying to tell you something is missing in this engine. When your body starts tightening up, locking up, getting tired far too fast, very often it's quietly screaming, "Pay attention, I'm lacking nutrients. I don't have the right fuel." Before we continue, I really want to hear from you. Tell me in the comments, how old are you and how do your legs feel today? More cramps, more weakness, more tingling? And if you'd like to use this video to make a commitment to yourself, write this in the comments. Strong legs. That tells me you're not just watching, you've decided to take care of yourself. And it also helps YouTube understand that this topic matters to more people your age. Now let me explain what's behind all of this. In a very simple way, the strength, balance, and coordination of your legs don't depend only on willpower or exercise. They depend on something like an internal electrical system built by 7 key vitamins and minerals. Think of your body like a house. You can have the couch, the fridge, the TV. But if the wiring is faulty, the lights flicker, the breaker trips, and the TV shuts off. Your legs work the same way. When one of these nutrients is low, the nerves don't send clear signals, the muscles respond halfway, the bones lose support, circulation struggles to deliver oxygen. The result? Cramps, weakness, a feeling of instability, and that quiet, constant fear of falling. Today I'm going to show you, step by step, the 7 most important vitamins and minerals for strong legs after 60. We'll go from number 7 all the way down to number 1. And at the end, I'll reveal the forgotten vitamin that can be a real turning point for energy and leg recovery. One that most older adults don't even know exists. This is not a miracle. It's not a promise of instant healing. It's knowledge, smarter nutrition, proper use of supplements when your doctor recommends them, and small changes that, when added together, can make a huge difference in everyday life. If what I'm saying makes sense to you, if you're afraid of losing your independence, or if you take care of someone over 60 who's dealing with weak legs, do yourself, and me, a quick favor. Click the like button now, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications. Our mission here is simple: to help you live stronger, steadier, and more independently after 60. No miracles, no false promises. And take a moment to share this video with that friend, sibling, husband, or wife who's always complaining about cramps, heavy legs, or fear of falling. Sometimes a single video is the push someone needs to finally look for help and take better care of themselves. Now, let's begin. We're starting with vitamin number 7, one of the most well-known, and at the same time, one of the most overlooked when it comes to leg strength. Vitamin D. Number 7. Vitamin D. the quiet activator of leg strength. If you feel like you need to use a lot of effort just to get out of bed or up from a chair, if sometimes your legs don't seem to respond as quickly as your mind tells them to, or if you often feel a little unsteady, worried about losing your balance, there's a strong chance your vitamin D levels are low. Most people know vitamin D as the bone vitamin, and that's true. It is essential for strong bones. But what almost no one tells you is that vitamin D is also crucial for activating muscle fibers, the very fibers that help you stand up from a chair, step up onto a curb without pulling yourself up, catch yourself if you slip on a wet floor, and stay balanced while walking at home, at the grocery store, or outside. As we age, our skin becomes less efficient at producing vitamin D from sunlight. At the same time, after 60, many people go out less, spend more time indoors, avoid the sun because of skin concerns, and all of that adds up. The result? Millions of older adults with vitamin D levels lower than ideal, often without any idea it's happening. Multiple studies show that older adults with low vitamin D tend to have poorer balance, slower reaction time, and a higher risk of falls. And when we talk about falling after 60, you know what that means. It's not just fall and get up. Sometimes it's a fracture, surgery, weeks or months in bed, and a major loss of independence. So where do you get vitamin D? Mainly from fatty fish like salmon and sardines, some fortified dairy products, egg yolks, and of course sun exposure, always with guidance and care. But in real life, for many people, food and a bit of sun just aren't enough. That's why in many cases, doctors recommend vitamin D supplementation, with doses calculated based on blood tests. And here's a very important warning. Don't start taking random vitamin D supplements just because you saw something online. Too much vitamin D can also be harmful. The safest path is always the same. Talk to your doctor, ask them to check your vitamin D levels, and if needed, adjust the right dose for you. When vitamin D returns to proper levels, many older adults report exactly this: firmer legs, less of that weak or mushy feeling, better stability while walking, and more confidence moving around both inside and outside the home. With proper guidance, vitamin D is like flipping a switch that helps your muscles respond again. Now let's move on to vitamin number 6, which works as a powerful partner with vitamin D, calcium. Number 6, calcium, the connector of movement and support. When people hear the word calcium, the first thought is usually, oh, that's the milk mineral. It's for bones. And yes, that's true. Calcium is one of the key nutrients responsible for keeping your bones strong and resilient. But there's an important detail that almost no one talks about. Every single time your muscle contracts and relaxes, to take a step, to stand still, to climb a stair, it uses calcium like a spark that triggers movement. So calcium isn't just about bones. It's one of the main drivers of movement itself. As the years go by, if the amount of calcium coming from your diet isn't enough, your body has to pull that mineral from somewhere else. And guess where it takes it from? Your own bones. That's why so many people after 60 develop osteopenia or osteoporosis, end up with weaker bones, a compressed spine, and start living with that constant fear of falling and breaking something. When you combine weakened bones with unstable legs, that's a risky situation. That's why calcium matters so much. So where does calcium show up in everyday life? In dairy products, like milk, cheese, and yogurt, for those who tolerate them well. In dark leafy greens, such as kale and broccoli. In calcium-set tofu. In canned sardines with the bones, and in some plant-based beverages that are fortified with calcium, like certain soy or almond milks commonly found in U.S. grocery stores. Most adults over 60 need around 200 milligrams of calcium per day. But that doesn't mean everyone should rush out and buy calcium pills. What matters most is looking at the whole picture. What are you actually eating during the day? Have you already been told you have low bone density? Have you ever had a DEXA scan? And how are your vitamin D levels, which help your body absorb calcium in the first place? Calcium and vitamin D work as a team. There is no point overloading on calcium if your vitamin D is low. The absorption just won't happen properly. That's why it's so important to talk with your doctor. Sometimes a simple change in diet, combined with safe sun exposure, and when needed, the right supplement, can dramatically strengthen this foundation. When calcium and vitamin D are both in balance, people often notice real practical changes: less pain after walking, more confidence going upstairs, and less fear of breaking a bone from a simple fall. It's literally the foundation that supports your independence. Now let's move on to a vitamin that few people associate directly with the legs, but that has everything to do with balance, walking confidence, and even those annoying pins and needles sensations in the feet: vitamin B12. Number 5. Vitamin B12, the guardian of nerves and balance. Let me ask you a few questions. Have you ever felt a strange tingling in your feet, like little electric pins or numbness, especially on the soles? Have you had the sensation that the ground feels off, like you're not fully aware of where your foot is landing? Or have you noticed that you're tripping more easily, even in places you've walked 1,000 times before? Many people assume this is just poor circulation or normal aging, but in many cases it can be a sign that vitamin B12 is low. Vitamin B12 is essential for forming and maintaining the protective layer around your nerves, like the insulation around an electrical wire. When that protection starts to break down, the signal traveling from the brain to the legs and feet becomes weaker, slower, and sometimes scrambled. In real life, that can show up as numbness in the feet or legs, tingling sensations, trouble feeling the ground properly, difficulty noticing uneven surfaces, and in some cases, dizziness and insecurity while walking. As we age, our stomach naturally produces less acid, and that acid is essential for absorbing vitamin B12 from food. On top of that, many medications commonly used after 60, like drugs for heartburn, acid reflux, gastritis, and even some diabetes medications, can interfere with B12 absorption even more. So where does food fit into this? Vitamin B12 is found mainly in animal-based foods, such as red meat and poultry, fish and seafood, eggs, milk and dairy products, and some foods fortified with B12, which are common in the U.S. If your diet includes very little of these foods, or if your body isn't absorbing them well anymore, B12 levels can slowly drop, sometimes without obvious warning at first. That's why paying attention to your body's signals is so important. If you've been feeling tingling or numbness in your legs or feet, an unusual kind of weakness in your legs, more frequent stumbling, or that odd feeling that your balance is off, like you're walking on uneven ground, it's absolutely worth talking to your doctor and asking for a vitamin B12 blood test. When B12 is low and a doctor corrects it, whether through well-absorbed oral supplements, liquid drops, or, in some cases, injections, many people notice very clear improvements. Their legs respond faster, the tingling fades, and their confidence while walking increases. It's like reconnecting the line between the brain, the nerves, and the legs. And once again, an important reminder: no self-medicating. More vitamins don't automatically mean more health. Taking something you don't need or taking too much can cause problems. The right path is always the same. Notice the signs, run the right tests, and make adjustments with the healthcare professional who follows you. Now, you might be thinking, my goodness, this is a lot. Vitamin D, calcium, B12. How am I supposed to remember all of this and explain it clearly to my doctor without getting confused? That's exactly why I created a special resource to help. If you're someone who likes having things written down and organized, I created an ebook called Strong Legs Free Life. This ebook is not a miracle. It doesn't promise quick fixes, and it doesn't replace your doctor. What it does is give you a clear roadmap, an explanation of the 7 key vitamins and minerals we're talking about, lists of foods rich in each one, simple everyday combination examples, and space to write down your symptoms, test results, and the questions you want to bring to your appointment. That way, you don't rely on memory alone. You walk into your appointment prepared. The link to Strong Legs Free Life is in the description and also pinned in the first comment. If it feels helpful, you can download it after watching this video calmly. And don't worry, I'm going to keep explaining everything here, step by step, for free. In the next part, we're going to talk about a mineral that has everything to do with those nighttime cramps, restless legs, and that deep discomfort that steals your sleep. I'm almost certain you'll recognize yourself in it. Now that you understand the role of vitamin D, calcium, and B12, we're moving into a powerful trio linked to cramps, heavy legs, swelling, and that feeling that your legs just don't perform anymore: magnesium, potassium, and vitamin K. Let's start with magnesium. Number 4, magnesium, the mineral that calms nighttime leg cramps. Tell me if this has ever happened to you. You lie down, finally fall asleep, and suddenly a cramp hits your calf or foot so strong it feels like the muscle might tear. You wake up startled, stretch, massage, change positions, and sleep is gone. Many people think this is just overdoing it or being tired, but very often recurrent cramps like these are closely linked to magnesium. Magnesium plays a key role in muscle relaxation. While some minerals help the muscle contract, magnesium helps the muscle let go, to switch off after the contraction. When magnesium levels are low, muscles can become more irritable and overreactive. That's when you start to notice things like nighttime leg cramps, restless legs, muscle twitches or spasms, and that deep fatigue that doesn't seem to match the effort you put in. On top of that, magnesium is a mineral that the body can lose quite easily. Chronic stress, certain blood pressure and heart medications, frequent alcohol intake, and even excessive caffeine can slowly drain magnesium stores over time, something very common in modern life. So where does this important mineral come from? Magnesium is found in foods such as dark leafy greens like spinach and kale, nuts, especially almonds and cashews, seeds like pumpkin seeds, beans and other legumes, and even cocoa, that darker chocolate with a higher cocoa content. When a diet is low in whole, natural foods and high in ultra-processed packaged products, magnesium is often one of the first nutrients to fall behind. If you've been experiencing frequent cramps, constantly tired or heavy legs, muscles that seem to jump on their own, or very restless sleep because of leg discomfort, it's worth talking to your doctor about checking magnesium levels. In some cases, simple dietary changes are enough. In others, a doctor may recommend a magnesium supplement in a dose that's right for you. And once again, an important reminder: don't self-prescribe supplements just because you heard they're good. People with kidney problems, for example, need to be especially careful with certain types of magnesium. When magnesium is balanced again, many people describe a clear before and after effect on their sleep. Fewer cramps, less restless legs, and waking up feeling far more rested. If, while listening to this, you thought of someone who constantly complains about leg cramps at night, share this video with them. It's a simple way to show you care, and it might help someone you love understand their body a little better. Now, let's talk about another mineral that goes hand in hand with muscle strength and with fluid balance in the body: potassium. Number 3, potassium, the great balancer inside your cells. When people hear potassium, most immediately think of bananas, and that's not wrong. But potassium's role goes far beyond that. Potassium helps regulate fluid balance inside cells, participates in the electrical signals that allow muscles to contract and relax, and works alongside sodium to keep nerves and muscles functioning properly. When potassium levels drop below what they should be, you may notice muscle tremors weakness, stiffness, cramps during or after walking, and that feeling that your legs run out of steam too quickly, becoming heavy sooner than expected. This is especially common in people who take certain blood pressure medications called diuretics, which increase fluid elimination, and along with it, potassium loss. So where can you find this important mineral? In foods such as bananas, avocados, oranges and other citrus fruits, sweet potatoes, spinach, white beans, coconut water, and other fresh fruits and vegetables. You don't need to eat all of these at once, but including a variety of them throughout the week can go a long way toward helping maintain healthy potassium levels, always within the context of your overall health and medical guidance. Maintaining healthy potassium levels needs to respect your personal health situation and, of course, your doctor's guidance. And here's a very important point: potassium supplements are not something to take lightly. Unlike many other vitamins, too much potassium in the bloodstream can be dangerous, especially for people with kidney disease or heart conditions. That's why, if you take diuretics, if you have kidney issues, or if you notice many of the symptoms we talked about, the right path is always the same. Talk to your doctor, run blood tests if needed, adjust your diet, and only use supplementation when it's truly necessary and medically supervised. When potassium levels are where they should be, many people begin to notice more stamina when walking, fewer cramps during physical effort, a steadier, more confident stride, and less of that stiff, locked feeling in the joints. Now let's move to a vitamin that rarely gets much attention in doctors' offices, but plays a critical role in bone health, joint function, and even the health of your arteries: vitamin K. Number 2. Vitamin K. The traffic controller for calcium. You've probably heard about calcium and vitamin D for strong bones. That part is well known. What many people don't hear about is vitamin K, which works like a traffic controller for calcium inside the body. Vitamin K helps guide calcium to where it belongs, into the bones and teeth, where it strengthens structure, and away from places it shouldn't accumulate, like the walls of the arteries, which over time can contribute to cardiovascular problems. When vitamin K is low, calcium may not be used efficiently, and that can lead to weaker bones, stiffer joints, and indirectly, a body that feels less stable and less secure while walking. There are two main forms of vitamin K: K1 and K2. Vitamin K1 is found mostly in leafy green vegetables such as kale, spinach, broccoli, arugula. Vitamin K2 appears more often in fermented foods, egg yolks, and certain organ meats, such as liver. The issue is that many people regularly avoid these foods. They don't enjoy leafy greens, they don't eat organ meats, and their diet becomes repetitive and low in variety. There's also a group of people who need extra caution with vitamin K, those who take blood thinners, medications that reduce clotting. In these cases, sudden changes in vitamin K intake from food or supplements can interfere with how the medication works. That's why I repeat this clearly. Don't start taking vitamin K supplements just because you heard it's good for bones. Yes, it's an important nutrient, but it has to be evaluated within the context of your health, the medications you take, and always with professional guidance. When vitamin K is balanced, especially together with vitamin D and calcium, it helps keep bones stronger, joints more flexible, and, in everyday life, legs that feel more dependable, step after step. Notice how everything connects. There isn't one single miracle, vitamin, or magic pill. It's a team of nutrients working together so that nerves, muscles, bones, and circulation support you, not work against you. In the next part, we'll get to vitamin number 1, the one hardly anyone talks about. But that can make a real difference in energy, recovery, and how confident your legs feel after age 60. And before we dive into that often overlooked vitamin, I'll also show you again how to organize all this information in a simple way, so you don't feel overwhelmed, and so you can have a clearer, more productive conversation with your doctor as you plan your care for the years ahead. Now that you've seen how magnesium, potassium, and vitamin K fit into this puzzle, you can see there's no single magic solution. Each piece plays a role so that nerves, muscles, bones, and circulation can work in harmony. And that's exactly why I emphasize organization so much. If at any point during this video you thought, "That's a lot to remember, I'll get lost when I talk to my doctor," take a breath. You're not alone. And there is a simple way to make this manageable. It was with all of this in mind that I created the ebook, Strong Legs, Independent Life. It does not replace medical care. It does not promise a quick fix or guaranteed results. What it does is organize everything I'm explaining here in a clear, practical way. The 7 most important vitamins and minerals for leg health, a list of foods rich in each one of them, space for you to write down the symptoms you've been noticing, and a simple list of questions you can take to your doctor so you get much more out of your appointment. That way, you're not relying only on memory. You don't walk into the appointment unsure of what to say, and you can take an active role in your own care. The link to Strong Legs Independent Life is in the description and also in the pinned comment. If it feels right for you, download it after you finish watching this video. Now, let's finally get to vitamin number 1, the most overlooked and at the same time one of the most important for energy and recovery in your legs. Number 1, vitamin B6, the vitamin of energy, recovery, and coordination. Let me ask you something. Have you ever gone for a short walk and come back feeling like you'd just run a marathon? Have you done something simple, climbing a flight of stairs, going to the grocery store, sweeping the house, and then spent 1, 2, even 3 days with sore legs, as if you had pushed yourself way too hard? Or do you sometimes feel like your energy runs out quickly, like your battery suddenly drops in the middle of the day? Of course, these signs can have several causes, but one very important piece of this puzzle is vitamin B6. Vitamin B6 is involved in essential processes in your body. It helps your body use energy from food more efficiently, supports muscle recovery after physical effort, and plays a role in producing substances that affect mood, coordination, and even balance. When B6 levels are low, it's as if the body struggles to properly use the fuel you give it, recover after even small efforts, and keep smooth communication between the brain, nerves, and muscles. In daily life, that can show up like this. You get tired very quickly. Your legs feel heavy or weak with little activity. It takes days to recover from a simple outing. Your mood feels more irritable or sensitive, and your body just doesn't respond the way it used to. Vitamin B6 is found in foods such as chicken, fish, lean meats, white potatoes and sweet potatoes, bananas, chickpeas, and some fortified cereals. But as with other vitamins, age can bring challenges. Absorption may not be as efficient, utilization can change, and everyday medications may interfere. That's why guessing or self-prescribing doesn't help. If you recognized yourself in these symptoms, quick fatigue, lingering leg pain after light effort, low energy, or even mood changes, it's absolutely worth discussing B6 with your doctor as well. The good news is that when a deficiency exists and is corrected properly, many people report something very noticeable: clearer thinking, more stable daily energy, and legs that recover better after activity. This doesn't mean you'll suddenly become an athlete or chase buses or climb hills like you're 20 again, but in many cases, it means being able to do the basics again with far less suffering: walking to the corner store, doing groceries, climbing a flight of stairs, spending time with your grandkids, without feeling like your body punishes you for days afterward. And once again, I want to be very clear. Don't start taking vitamin B6 supplements on your own, thinking it's a magic solution. The path is always the same: evaluation, testing when needed, and adjustments made together with the healthcare professional who follows you. Now, let me quickly recap everything we've covered so far. In a simple, easy-to-remember way. If your legs have been feeling weaker, if your balance isn't what it used to be, if you're dealing with cramps, tingling, stiffness, pain, or extreme fatigue, that is not automatically just aging. In many cases, your body is signaling that important pieces of the system are missing. We talked about vitamin D, which helps activate muscles and protect against falls. Calcium, which supports bones and movement. Vitamin B12, which protects the nerves and helps you feel the ground beneath your feet. Magnesium, which calms cramps and helps muscles relax. Potassium, which balances muscle contraction and hydration inside the cells. Vitamin K, which directs calcium to the right places. And vitamin B6, which supports energy, recovery, and coordination. Do you see how this works like a network? A small deficiency in one or two of these nutrients, combined with less movement, medications, poor sleep, and an unbalanced diet, can snowball into something much bigger. Weaker legs, more pain, more fear of falling, more limitations, and often more sadness because you start depending on others for things you used to do without thinking. The good news is this: even after 60, 70, or 80, the body still responds. You can't turn back the clock, but you can improve the ground you're standing on. So what can you do practically starting today? First, observe. Pay attention to your legs as they are right now. Are you having more cramps, more weakness, more tingling, getting short of breath with little effort? Do you sleep well or wake up several times because of leg discomfort? Second, write it down. Instead of trying to keep everything in your head, grab a notebook, a sheet of paper, or even the ebook if you decide to download it, and note what symptoms you feel, how long they've been present, and when they tend to show up. Third, look at your diet. No guilt, no extremes. Just ask yourself honestly, am I eating fruits, vegetables, leafy greens, and good protein sources throughout the week? Or is most of what comes into my home packaged, ultra-processed, ready-made food? Fourth, take this to your doctor. At your next appointment, instead of simply saying, "My legs hurt," you can say something much more helpful. "Doctor, I've been having night cramps, tingling in my feet, and a lot of leg fatigue after short walks. I came across information about vitamins D, B12, B6, magnesium, potassium, and vitamin K. Do you think it would make sense to check whether any of these might be low for me?" Do you notice the difference? You're not self-medicating. You're not diagnosing yourself. You're educating yourself and using that information to have a more productive, mature, and responsible conversation with the professional who cares for you. And that's exactly why I created Strong Legs Independent Life. It's meant to be a simple, organized guide that helps you. Remember the most important vitamins and minerals, see food examples you can include in daily life, keep track of symptoms and warning signs, record medications you use, and structure your questions for your doctor without forgetting anything. It's not a miracle. It's not a cure. It does not replace exercise, medication, exams, or medical follow-up. But it is a tool to put you back at the center of your own care. If you'd like that extra support, the link to Strong Legs Independent Life is in the description and in the pinned comment. You can download it, read it calmly, highlight what applies to your reality, and use it as a support resource. Now, if this video helped you in any way, I'll ask you for 3 very simple things. First, click the like button below. That tells YouTube this topic matters and helps this content reach other people who may be going through the same thing. Second, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way you won't miss the next videos and we can keep moving forward together step by step, not only caring for your legs, but for your overall health after 60. Third, tell me in the comments, which of these vitamins or minerals do you feel might be most lacking in your routine right now? And what worries you the most? Cramps, weakness, tingling, or fear of falling? When you leave a comment, you're not just helping me understand what you're going through, you're also helping build a community. Other people read it, recognize themselves in your words, and realize they're not alone. And to close, I want to invite you to the next step of this journey. In the next video, I'm going to show you 3 nighttime habits that many people have without realizing it. Habits that silently steal strength from your legs while you sleep. Simple, everyday things that seem harmless, but are sabotaging your rest, your muscle recovery, and even the health of your joints. If you don't want to keep waking up tired, with that feeling that your legs didn't keep up with the rest of your body, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss it. Take care of your legs, because they are what take you where you want to be, out in the world with friends, with family, with your grandchildren, living the life you deserve. A warm hug. May God be with you in whatever way makes sense to you, and I'll see you in the next video.